I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If it's a get thin quick scheme you want, I can tell you it won't keep you thin for long. But what I can tell you is how to develop some mental skills to lose weight and keep it off forever. Skills that actually help you to do more than just lose weight, like achieve other important goals in your life. If you stop watching now, that'll be the end of it. I will not teach you. I will not inspire you. But if you do watch my videos, I will teach you. I will inspire you, and you will become a badass. The biggest problem with losing weight is maintaining motivation, especially if you are substantially overweight. But there is a key concept that you need to understand to maintain your motivation and your effort at proper diet and exercise. If you get a good understanding of this concept, you will dramatically increase your chances of success for the long run with getting back into shape. But before I reveal this concept, I want you to hear the story about my friend named Stan. Stan one night was up late watching TV, and an infomercial comes on, and he sees these really fit, healthy people on this infomercial, and they're talking about an exercise program that's insane. And he is really inspired by this 30-minute long infomercial, and he decides that he is going to get up off his keister and get into some shape. So Stan starts thinking about a plan. How am I going to do this? And he decides he's going to do this workout plan, this insane workout plan, and he's going to, cut back on his calories, severely, and really just drop the weight fast. So he goes about starting his workouts, and he's doing his insane workouts. They're very intense, and he starts eating substantially less food, and after a while, the problem starts. Stan starts hating his workout. It's so intense that he's dreading it during the day before he can get to his workout, and he just doesn't want to do it. And his motivation to be able to sustain this high level of exercise is rapidly fading. He also notices that he's hungry a lot. The new restriction on his calories is just making him miserable, and all he can think about is how much he would love to just eat a big slice of pizza. So a third problem is that Stan is not seeing the results that he would really like to have seen. It's just not happening fast enough. Maybe he's lost a little weight, but he just really, after a while, he starts slacking on his exercise. He starts cheating all over the place on his diet, and the results are just not coming as fast as he would like, and he gets discouraged. The end result is that he gives up, gets back on his couch, and living the slouch lifestyle that he has been used to, which is what got him out of shape in the first place. Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Akin with the Mind Fitness Method. So does Stan's story sound familiar to you? It is an extremely common story. In fact, when you look at all comers who try to lose weight, only about 10% or probably less are able to sustain 10% of body weight loss for more than 1 year. And the reason I use those parameters of 10% body weight loss for 1 year is that's the way that a lot of the scientific research on obesity defines success in weight loss. And so that's a pretty minimal setting, especially when you think that 30% of the American population is obese. So they would need to lose well more than 10% of their body weight to get into their target weight. So what is this concept that is so important that I'm going to reveal to you that is critical to your success for sustained weight loss? It is called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a concept that has been researched for about over 40 years now. There have been literally hundreds and hundreds of research articles on self-efficacy. And what we have found is that it is essential to your success in accomplishing almost any achievement, especially with weight loss. So what is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is the belief in one's ability to organize and execute behaviors in order to achieve a specific outcome. So you need to think about your self-concept, your self-identity as like a model that you hold in your brain. And you've defined yourself, who you think that you are based on your past successes and failures and all of the experiences that you've had in your life leading up to now. So certain achievements that you've had actually have spillover into trying to accomplish new goals. For example, if you were trying to learn to drive a car, you might think to yourself, well, I learned how to ride a bike and I can do that pretty well. And in fact, a lot of people can ride bikes, so you're getting a sort of a social reference point as well. And you think, I could probably learn how to drive a car. And you might have a lot of success and increase your self-efficacy, your belief that you could learn what you need to do to drive a car, because of the fact that you had learned to ride a bike. So past achievements spill over into new goals. But now humans do something a little different that other animals don't do, which is they project into the future. And this is where we sometimes get into trouble. So for example, let's take an analogy of trucks. If you looked at a truck, and let's just say that a truck could think and a truck could grow the more that it worked, just like a human. So if you had a Toyota Tacoma, a fairly small truck, and that truck looked at a huge dump truck and it said, you know what, I want to be able to, pull a big load like that dump truck can, and I want to be able to haul, huge amounts of dirt and everything and be big and strong like that. And so it immediately goes and starts trying to get loaded down with huge loads of dirt, and it basically just crushes the truck, or it burns up the engine trying to pull something that's carrying all of that dirt. But fortunately, trucks don't think and they don't try to do things like that, and they can't grow. But adults tend to do the same thing. We start to think to ourselves, I see a person that looks awesome and I want to look like that. So I'm going to do exactly what they're doing right now today. And I'm going to, eventually look like that after 3 weeks, which is ridiculous. And a lot of this mentality has come from the weight loss industry itself, with these products purporting that they can cause you to lose weight 15 pounds in 3 weeks. And the mentality is everybody wants to get thin. They want to get thin fast, and they want to get thin without any effort at all. And this is where you get into trouble. You're going to have to develop a skill set, and you're going to learn how to maintain self-regulation on exercise and your diet in order to get to where you want to be and to stay there. So back to self-efficacy. Why would you want to increase your self-efficacy? What is the difference between people who have an appropriate level of self-efficacy and those who don't have enough? People with low self-efficacy are quick to give up on their goals. They have a very weak commitment to their goals. Whenever they are faced with obstacles, they start to attribute those failures in their pursuit of their goal as a personal deficiency. It's just evidence that they are not capable of doing this. Whereas people who have appropriately high self-efficacy see their goals as a task to be mastered. They will not give up in the face of adversity. They have a much stronger commitment to their goals. They find it easier to motivate themselves. They have more interest in the goal and what they're doing, and they have more success at achieving the goals. Now, one caveat to this is that you can have too much self-efficacy. For example, what if I showed you a bunch of videos about how to slalom ski, and you watch these videos on the techniques of slalom skiing, and you convinced yourself that you knew how to slalom ski as well as these Olympic skiers who are teaching you in the video. And then I put you at the top of a black diamond slope in Colorado and say, okay, show me what you got. And if you had too much self-efficacy, you're going to end up in the hospital because there is a difference between knowledge self-efficacy and actual physical self-efficacy, or the self-efficacy associated with the execution of behaviors that you have knowledge about. So it's important to have the right amount of self-efficacy, not too low, not too high. One way in the pursuit of getting in shape, as far as exercise goes, if you want to set an appropriate goal for exercise, you should set your goal as a level of exercise that you are 70% sure that you could do that workout 5 days a week for 50 weeks. Okay, so how do you figure out what you're 70% sure of? Well, you start at the minimum amount of exercise. For example, how sure are you, do you think, that you could do 1 sit-up a day for 50 weeks? Probably 100% sure that you could do that. But even if you accomplish that, number one, it wouldn't do much for you physically, and number two, it really wouldn't raise your self-efficacy very much. The fact that you pulled off doing 1 sit-up a day, 5 days a week for 50 weeks. But what if we designed a workout and you look at it and you say, yeah, I'm 90% sure I could do that for 50 weeks, and then you look at another one and you say, yeah, I'm about 70%. So you look at the thing, you keep looking at workouts that you are pretty sure that you could stick with, you know, a 70% chance, 5 days a week for 50 weeks. You do the same thing with your diet. You don't start off eating something that you're starving on. You're not likely to maintain that. So pick a level of caloric intake that you think you're 70% sure you could manage that 5 days a week for 50 weeks. And as your ability grows, both your physical ability and your self-regulation ability with eating grows, then you raise the stakes over time, always maintaining about a 70% level of difficulty for yourself. This is how you keep your self-efficacy at the appropriate level. You don't go into a gym thinking you can bench press 500 pounds if you've never worked out. That's the biggest mistake that people make, is their expectations of what they're going to accomplish are way too high. And if you are 30 pounds overweight, you need to see your weight loss project to getting back into your target weight as a 1-year project, a half a pound a week. That way, if you're losing a half a pound a week, then you won't trigger a lot of those metabolic responses that slow your metabolism, and it is a very achievable, doable thing. It won't overstress you, and you will have enough success that you maintain your self-efficacy. So if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm Dr. Akin, and remember, it is your brain that maintains the change.